Our founders had faith that if a committed Mason was presented with wise and serious truths, adorned with noble thoughts and beautiful ways, then the reflective Mason, the words of our ritual as well as their meaning, become indelibly imprinted on his mind. They understood that through a succession of ages, the beauty of our language is just one more way to make certain that the tenets of our institution were transmitted unimpaired. They understand that the communication of our ritual was indeed a wise, serious, and important undertaking. We can afford no less an understanding in the present and in the future. Our ritual is who we are, what differentiates us from other fraternities and organizations. The ritual is what made this fraternity, and a return to the ritual is what will ensure its longevity. On the other hand, if we don't bid men come up to us but keep lowering ourselves to them, and we keep accepting inadequate work, and we keep not challenging our young brothers, we keep not making them work, I'm telling you right now, anything in life that you get for free, you don't cherish it too much. Anything in your life, and I don't care what it is, skill, education, you name it. If you worked hard to get it, you will always value it and hold it dear. And I'd like to close, well, actually I want to make one personal comment before I close. You know, very often people don't get recognized for what they do during their lifetimes. And there's a couple of people here that I want to recognize. Now, one of them you may see arrested today because I heard Greenpeace has a contract out on him, and that's Larry Hamill, the tree killer. Larry Hamill's the saddest guy in the world that the computer ever took place because the mounds and stacks of paper that he used to cart around are now paperless. But I will tell you something, you know, and believe me, no one knows Larry, you know, I know Larry as well as anybody in this room. He's a lot like my father, which makes him a royal pain in the butt at times. But I'm telling you that. But Larry, but if you want a fountain of wisdom, he's sitting right there. He was involved in the early work of all the programs that you're talking about today in Quest. We have another brother sitting here today who at some point I think will be recognized and cherished for what he did for the fraternity, and that's Grand Master Neil Bidnick. When you walk into this lodge room, fellas, take a look at the first thing you see on the wall up there. It's the Masonic Compact. He had the courage to get a group of smart guys together and make that compact. And if you shrink that down and put it in your pocket, when someone says, what do Masons do, who are the Masons, if you hand them that piece of paper, you're giving them the best idea of what that's all about. And we thank both of you guys. The other man is the one I call my father, Gary Henson. And I could get a little emotional about this. 1992, Gary Henson convened a advisory committee. And he looked at us and he said, I'm bringing you guys together because I brought the best minds I could get together and I want you to do something. In fact, our motto for 2 years was, let's do it. We even had a pin that said, let's do it. I remember when I first got the pin, I came home, I threw it into the bed with my wife. She looked at it and said, in your dreams. I thought it would work. but Gary, here's what came out from Gary Henson. Road to the East, Brother Bring a Friend Night, Grand Lodge officer training done by Masons, not by high-priced outfits coming in and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to teach us business models that had nothing to do with Freemasonry. I will submit to you, my brothers, that everything that you're looking at here, in terms of your education as a Mason, the incipient idea for it, or a lot of the idea came from the leadership of this man. Of this man. One man who had the courage to stand up and tell everybody else, we're going to change things, and we're going to change things for the better. Andrew Jackson is one of my favorite historical figures. Do you guys know he was a past Grand Master at Tennessee? Yes. Okay. Andrew Jackson, during the Morgan affair, when Masons were literally getting injured because of the Morgan affair, he was on a steamboat. He was running for president. He got offered a stop. The Masons of that town asked him if he would walk in a Masonic parade. Now remember, he's a political candidate for president, and the country hates Masons. There's an anti-Masonic party that John Quincy Adams is a part of. Jackson said, yes, I will. The lodge the night before had been burned down. He marched with his apron on. When he got back to the steamboat, a reporter that was with him said, you know, when we report that you marched in the Masonic parade, your chances for being president probably greatly diminished. And he looked at this brother, and the reporter said, you know, I don't know how you have the courage to do it when the majority is against you. He stood up and he said, one man with courage makes a majority. One man with courage makes a majority. And that, my brothers, is Gary Henningsen. And for everything you've done, thank you. Thank you. My brothers, the lapse of time, the ruthless hand of ignorance, and the devastations of war have laid waste and destroyed many valuable monuments of antiquity, upon which the utmost exertion of human genius had been applied. Freemasonry, notwithstanding, still survives. Still survives. I'm paraphrasing that. The attentive ear receives the sound from the instructive tongue, and the mysteries of Freemasonry are safely lodged within the repository of the faithful breast. Every brother admitted within the sacred walls of this middle chamber should heed the lessons here inculcated. And remember that as a Freemason, he is also a builder, not of a material edifice, but of a temple more glorious than that of Solomon. A temple of honor, of justice, of purity, of knowledge, and of truth. My brothers, that is your charge as Freemasons. Love the ritual, teach the ritual, demand things about the ritual. Your lives will thrive, and so will Freemasonry. Thank you for your time.